Okay, I want to further develop the idea of the law of diminishing returns. Law of diminishing returns is relative only to what we call the short run. The short run, by definition, is a time period where at least one resource is fixed. We call it a fixed plant capacity. The short run is a period of time where there is at least one fixed resource. The size of our hamburger restaurant, if you will, that we used in the previous discussion. That would be in the short run. In the short run, we only, the law of diminishing returns is a phenomena only in the short run. And in the short run, to discuss costs that are apparent in the short run is evidenced of what we call fixed cost. Fixed costs are those costs that are not a function of production. It doesn't matter how much of a product we make. These particular costs are fixed. They do not change. An example of a fixed cost would be rent. You agreed to rent me an office building at $1,000 a month. I agreed to rent the office building at $1,000 a month. Whether I produce 0 hamburgers or 100 hamburgers, I still owe you $1,000. Utility equipment, I rent a refrigerator from you at $500 a month. Regardless whether I produce any hamburgers or not, I have any business at all, I still owe you money for the equipment. I still owe money for insurance. I still owe money for taxes, licenses. These are just examples. There are some others. The other type of cost that we have in the short run is called a variable cost. And just as the name would infer, a variable cost is a cost that can change with production. If I expect tomorrow to sell more hamburgers than I did today, I need more hamburgers. If I had 100 people that I served hamburgers to and there were people outside and I had to close, tomorrow I might buy 10% more hamburgers. I might buy 50 more hamburgers or something like that. I might adjust my labor. If I don't expect as much business tomorrow, I might tell somebody, well, he or she doesn't have to come into work. So these are costs that can vary with production, vary with my production, if you will. And if I add these two costs up, I get what is called total costs, my total cost. And to that end, we not only need to know what our total cost or our fixed costs are, we need to know what our average fixed cost is, our average variable cost, our average total cost, and our marginal cost. And here are the formulas, and you will need to know these. Average fixed cost is equal to total fixed cost divided by quantity. Average variable cost is total variable cost divided by quantity. Average total cost is total cost divided by quantity, or the addition of my average fixed cost plus my average variable cost. I have another cost down here. I just called it MC. MC simply stands for marginal cost. Marginal, again, means the extra cost, which in this case, again, it's the change in the total cost, if you will. So therefore, at Unit 2, if my total cost is $500, and at Unit 3, my total cost is $700, my marginal cost, the extra cost to produce this extra unit, the additional cost to produce that third unit was $200. It cost me $200 more to produce one more unit. Okay? So this gives you the idea of costs in the short run. Again, the short run is a time period where I have at least one fixed resource, one fixed plant capacity. I cannot change the size of my plant. Okay?